Čitalište is a typical Bulgarian public institution which performs educational functions and amateur activities. Čitalište Nadezhda marks the beginning of the library and museum work, the theater, the cinema, and the art gallery in Veliko Trnovo. It was founded on June 8, 1869. The building was built in 1886. Humanitarian High School Saint Kirill and Methody. It was built in 1898, but the history of the school began in 1836. It's an heir of the famous in the past boys' high school Saint Kirill, which donates to Bulgaria's notable figures in various fields of literature, art, and science. The monument of the hanged is located at the foot of the historic Varusha neighborhood in Veliko Trnovo, at the place where the participants in the April uprising in the first Trnovo revolutionary district are hanged. The idea to build the monument to the hanged originated in the first years after the liberation. With financial aid from the municipality and the citizens of Trnovo, the monument was built by the Italian architect Giovanni Musiti, which is the designer of the Stambolov Bridge, who at the time was in the municipality. The monument is made of white stone and has the shape of a four-walled pyramid, rising above several rows of stone steps. It ends with a stone cross. There are inscriptions on all four sides. The Museum of the Bulgarian Revival and Constituent Assembly is situated on the northern part of the Saldany Square in Veliko Trnovo, in the building of the Old Turkish Konak. The building is cruciform with an arch-shaped northern entrance. It was built by Kolofichito, who is one of the most prominent Bulgarian builders of the 19th century, in 1872. The terrain on which the building was constructed is terraced, and that is why it has 2 stories on the northern side and 4 stories on the southern. The adjustment of the building to the needs of the museum was completed in 1985. The exhibition is spread on 3 levels. Nezavisimost is a main street in the very center of Veliko Trnovo. It began to be built with gorgeous houses at the end of the 19th century. These houses were owned by prominent people from Trnovo's families of doctors, lawyers, old bankers, and craftsmen. In some of the houses on the first floor there was a shop, and the second floor was residential or there was an office. Saint Constantine and Helena is an Eastern Orthodox church located in the old center of Veliko Trnovo, built in 1872 by Master Kolofichito. During the earthquake of 1913, it suffered significant damage. In the 1920s, the church was rebuilt under the name of Saint Tsar Boris. It is also known as the church with the rotating columns. In the 80s of the 20th century, the restoration of the church began, but due to lack of ownership documents, it was stopped. The building is still collapsing. The 2 revolving columns in the front of the front gate are gone. Velchova Zavera Monument. It is located on the Commercial Square. It was opened on May 5, 1935, on the occasion of the 100th anniversary of the hanging of the participants in the conspiracy. The obelisk monument is the work of art. The stone column obelisk is 8.5 meters high. It is placed on a square site. On the east side there are embossed symbols of the conspiracy, a cross, a gospel sword, and below them hands aiming for the sword. Under the hands is carved an inscription, "The Grateful Offspring, 1935. On the north and south sides are placed the names of the participants in the conspiracy. General Gorko Street is one of the oldest and most picturesque streets of the old town of Veliko Trnovo, full of houses which are typical examples of the architecture from the Bulgarian Revival, all of them built on the steep hill slope, facing the Yantra River with beautiful views of the river itself and the Asenevci monument awkwardly sitting on the Yantra's meander. Gorko is a unique place where nature merges with the architectural beauty of the city. The house with the monkey is situated near the Samovodska Chershia. It was built in 1849 by Kolofichito for the merchant Nikola Koyov. Although it was built on a very narrow plot of land, the house had everything necessary for the merchant's activity: storehouse premises, shops, and the residential section for the family. Like all houses in Veliko Trnovo, it is situated on two streets. A profiled column on the house's facade depicts a sitting monkey with a slate. This image has lent the building its exotic name. Читалище Искра 1896 is a spiritual, literary, and educational center in Trnovo. The Читалище was founded on the 28th of December 1896 in the then village of Marinopole, today part of Veliko Trnovo. The beginning of the Читалище institution is set by the local teachers. It was originally housed in the building of the Church of Saint Marina. In 1918, the building of the Читалище monument was built in memory of the inhabitants of the Marinopole neighborhood who fell in the wars of 1913 to 1918. The building also opens a cinema, one of three in the city. In the 90s, part of the building was turned into a shopping center. Then in 2019, it was turned into a cinema again.
Feels like the time is up again.